I'd like to call this meeting back to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Fritz.
Here.
Ms. Galnick.
Here.
Mr. Gibbons.
Here.
Mrs. Gilch.
Here.
Ms. Gore is absent. Mrs. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. O'Donnell.
Here.
Ms. Dentino.
Here.
Mr. Marks.
Here.
We have a quorum.
At this time, we're going to move on to STAR students and the recognition of the Narcan training for the bus drivers. Mr. Bildo?
Good evening, Mr. Marks. Good evening, Mr. Marks, members of the board, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to, at this time, ask Mr. Tro, our Assistant Superintendent, to help facilitate with the first recognition of our STAR students. Mr. Tro?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome tonight. We are excited to be able to recognize some of our fine students from Union Valley and Ariel Elementary Schools, and so I will keep my portion short. I'm going to be turning over to the principals from each of those schools, and they will be introducing the students and some of the staff that are involved, and they also have certificates from Mr. Bilodeau and the Board of Education that they'll be presenting to the students after the presentation tonight. So with that, I will turn the microphone over to our administrative team from Union Valley Elementary School, Mrs. Elwell.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Congratulations to all of tonight's Shining Star Spotlight students. Union Valley is highlighting our 14 student council members from our 4th and 5th grade classes, and we have 2 teacher leaders who head that up. And at this time, I'd like to ask Mrs. Malloy and Mr. Nicola to please join us.
We would like the Union Valley Student Council members to please come forward. Our student council members that are here tonight are Terrence Somerville, Natalie Salas Taveras, AJ Walls, Avery Horan, Luke San Giorgio, Edelyn Laura, Tatum Speakman, Arise Hamill, Brady Bartell, Ellis Johnson, Jace Naborak, Blake Brindley, and Ryan Hodge.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for allowing us the time to present. We are super proud of all of our students, and we're just going to highlight some of the great things that we've done throughout the years. My name is Mary Jo Cernicola, and I've been one of the speech language specialists at Union Valley for about 10 years.
Good evening. My name is Erica Malloy. I'm a 5th grade teacher at Union Valley. I've been there since the school opened in 2001. And with the help of our building administration, we founded our student council at the start of 2016-2017 school year. For the past 7 years, we have led our members in becoming the leaders of our school.
Typically, student council consists of 2 students from each 4th and 5th grade homeroom for a total of approximately 14 students a year. Prior to being elected by their peers, students campaign by creating posters and making speeches to their homeroom peers, who then vote to elect whom they think are the best candidates.
The purpose of an elementary level student council is to help students learn the importance of organization, leadership, service, and teamwork. Being a member of student council now also helps to prepare students for later student government positions in both middle and high school.
Each year, the student council as a whole focuses on carrying out a variety of activities as a team from start to finish. Students and teachers search for and vote on which activities they will partake in each year. Members then meet during their recess time, no more than once per week, to plan, gather materials, put together, sell goods, and sometimes even deliver goods to organizations. Many of our activities are built around service and doing good for others.
Our students will now introduce themselves and present you with pictures and information about the activities that Student Council has participated in over the years. I'd like to call up Terrence first.
Hi, my name is Terrence and I'm a 5th grade member of Student Council. I won Student Council this year and last year. I joined the Student Council because I like helping people and making my parents proud. I also joined the Student Council because helping people is great and it makes me feel less selfish and that I can be considerate. Student Council is great, fun, and a happy program that I am proud to be a part of.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I'm a 5th grade member of Student Council. Each year in early May, we hold a fundraiser for Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for Childhood Cancer. Student Council members will make a list of materials needed to make lemonade and hold a lemonade stand. Then gather and sort donations, make the lemonade, and sell it in the cafeteria at lunch and to our families at Fine Arts Night. At the end, we are responsible for collecting and organizing the money, then making a donation to the organization to help change the lives of children with cancer.
Hi, my name is Blake, and I am a 4th grade member of Student Council. Student Council members had the opportunity to visit the Ronald McDonald House in Camden, New Jersey. While there, students had a tour of the building and then served and ate lunch with families who were staying in the house at the time. Prior to visiting, Student Council made a list of materials they would need and packed them up to be brought to the house.
Hi, my name is Jace, and I'm a 4th grade member of Student Council. A few times, Student Council members ran a food drive to gather items requested by the Food Bank of South Jersey. We kept track of what was received, then sorted the items and brought them to the food bank. Members had a chance to tour the facility in Pennsauken, the New Jersey, and learn about the needs in our community.
Hi, my name is Arisa, and I am a 4th grade member of Student Council. Last year, Student Council visited the Animal Welfare Association in Voorhees, New Jersey. They had an opportunity to learn about the shelter and different types of animals that are there. We also toured the shelter, met some of the cats and dogs, and even made toys for the cats to play with. Before we visited, we gathered and sorted donations that were requested by the shelter.
Hi, my name is Tatum Sweetman, and I am a 4th grade member of Student Council. Some of our projects are even school-wide. Each year, we ask for donations that are needed to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to be delivered to the Unforgotten Haven. Once we have gathered and sorted throughout materials, each grade level is asked to participate by creating a bag or a message, making the sandwiches and putting together the bags. Student Council members finish up the project by boxing the complete bags to be ready for donating.
Hi, my name is Avery, and I am a 5th grade member of Student Council. Last year, Student Council members made pocket hearts for Veterans Day and pocket flags for Memorial Day through a local American Legion. Once they were made, the hearts were delivered to the U.S. veterans and the flags were delivered to current U.S. soldiers, reminding them that they are not alone.
Hi, my name is AJ, and I'm a 5th grade member of Student Council. Last year, we participated in a fundraiser for the Alicia Rose Victorious Foundation, which provides lung areas and activities in hospitals for children. We chose bandana colors and then sold them to all the students during lunch periods. At the end of the week, students were able to wear their bandanas to show their support. In just 3 days, we raised over $1,000. We can't wait to do this again this year.
Hi, my name is Luke and I'm a 5th grade member of Student Council. This year, another activity for the American Legion was to make bracelets for soldiers. Some of us already knew how to make loop bracelets. If we didn't, we learned. Then we each made a few bracelets to be given to soldiers.
Hi, my name is Edelyn, and I am a 4th grade member of Student Council. This year's food drive was donated to the Williamstown Food Bank. We listed the items we needed, then we made sure that they were sorted and boxed to be delivered to the food bank.
Hi, my name is Brady, and I'm in 4th grade of Student Council. Every year during the holidays, Union Valley adopts a family in need to help provide them with gifts that they may not get otherwise. We have used nonprofits such as Salvation Army and more recently, Family Promise of Southwest New Jersey. Students and families that are able to participate are asked to donate clothing, toys, and housewares for each family. Once all items have been collected, we separate them into piles for each family member, then wrap the gifts so they are ready for the holidays. This is one of our favorite activities.
Hi, my name is Ellis, and I'm a 4th grade member of Student Council. This year, the PTO had some leftover materials from the holiday shop, so we got to make reindeer food for our younger students to leave out the night before Christmas. This was such a fun activity.
Hi, my name is Ryan. I'm a 4th grade member of Student Council. We are currently in the process of making blankets for Project Linus. The organization gave us the materials, and now we are making blankets like this one by measuring and tying large pieces of fabric together. When the blankets are all done, we will give them to children who are very sick. We can't wait to have more finished blankets.
And for the month of February, we were going to be making 30 cards for Home for the Brave. This is a homeless shelter in Camden for single male veterans. They get the support services they need, and they can live there for 2 years. So this is what our Student Council has been involved in the last several years and continuing all these fun activities for this coming year as well. So thank you all for coming, and you do a great job when we meet. You got that? Stay up here.
We're going to go give you your certificate, so come on over here, okay? We'll go get your certificates for Mrs. Curry right over here.
Good evening. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. My name is Brian Shields. I'm the principal at Ariel Elementary. We are also presenting with our student council and some of the things that they have been working on this year. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jim Carmichael, our assistant principal, who facilitates our student council.
Thank you, Mr. Shields. Good morning, everyone. Board of Education, Superintendent Mr. Bilodeau, parents, and family members. Student of the Month is a special celebration for students who have demonstrated exceptional citizenship. We at Ariel have several students being recognized for this prestigious accomplishment.
In 4th grade, we have Tyler Kernigan, Mia Logan, Miss Silva Kahlo, Christian Hale, Carter Brown, Dakota Watkins, Alexandra Aga, Caleb Relevo, Elizabeth Capra, Evelyn Conley, and Pearson Payne. Our 5th grade student council members, Jaden Jones, Janah Jenkins, Henry Vo, Amaya Womack, Dejan Lester, Amaya Carter, Levi Nicoletto, Adriana Smith, Gael Zavala Lopez, Leon Tran, and Alea Berger. This makes up Ariel's 4th and 5th grade student council.
Our student council is a student-led assembly comprised of 4th and 5th grade students who represent the interests, concerns, and needs of the student body. Student council is a group of student leaders who work with adult advisors to collaborate with others to impact their school community, which impacts their city or town, which impacts our state, which impacts our country, which changes the world. Through projects and activities, student councils work to promote citizenship, promote scholarship, promote leadership, promote human relations, and cultural values. Several projects this year include helping teachers collect food items for the needy families of our community during Thanksgiving, collecting and distributing information for a Hat Day at Ariel, in which we collected over $500, which will be invested in our PBIS reward systems of incentives for all of our students at Ariel. Voting on our new Ariel PBIS cheer, which we will try to sing in a couple minutes. In the future, we'll be doing a superhero underdog day, collecting pet food for a local animal shelter, and also autism awareness. I did ask the student council to sing with me, but they're going to sing only one part, correct? Okay. You might want to video this, parents. Here we go. Ariel Eagles, the green and white. We're proud to say that we are bright. We have great teachers working as a team. We try our best when reaching for our dreams. We respect everyone and obey all the rules, act responsibly. And remember, safety too. We work hard to represent our school. We are the Mighty Mighty Eagles. Soar! Very nice job. Once again, student council members at Ariel Elementary School. Great job, kids.
Thank you, Mr. Tro. Just wanted to, as an intro to some of our guests, and the next recognition program we have is about 2 years ago, Gloucester Township suffered the tragedy of one of our elementary students dying from being poisoned from fentanyl. And at that then time, we had less than a handful of staff members. We have 1,300 staff members, but we had less than a handful who had received training in Narcan. So since that time, it's been very profound. This Board of Education has been very supportive of making sure that we begin to train staff, all of our nurses, all of our administrators, both certificated and non-certificated, have been trained. There has been a tremendous amount of effort from the Camden County government to push this message of students being poisoned and different people in our community being poisoned by this terrible drug. And I would tell you that it's been a short journey, but it's been a long journey thus far, and there's a lot to do still. I had heard about having bus drivers trained, and I'll be honest with you, initially I was resistant to it only because I felt our bus drivers should be driving the buses. But as more and more information came out on the benefits of such a program, I began to listen, and I am pleased to report that in partnering with the Camden County government and the Camden County Department of Health, we had an opportunity this year to get onto their training format and have 50 of our transportation staff trained at once. I can go on, but that is a wonderful first salvo. I know that our transportation supervisor and our assistant supervisor, Lynn Cayone and Chris Cleary, were instrumental in facilitating this. So I know they're here. Lynn and Chris, thank you for going to your staff, telling them the benefits being prepared in the event that a student on a bus or anyone on a bus is suffering from ingesting this drug. So I am pleased to report that we do, from Camden County, have Commissioner Virginia Betteridge. So Virginia, I know that you have brought some staff along with the Department of Health. You have Carla Avellino, did I pronounce that correctly? Carla, welcome. And John Pellicane. John, I know that I appreciate you have been at superintendent roundtables and have told all the superintendents of Camden County your message from the Department of Health. And we even have the trainer who kind of pinch hitted and did a wonderful job for us. So Jennifer Hicks is also here. So I wanted to acknowledge these people for coming out to Ann Mullins School and being really the impetus for our staff to be trained in an important program. So Jenny, welcome to Ann Mullins School. If you have a few words,
Yes.
we'd like to hear from you.
Thank you, Superintendent, and thank you, members of the board, for being so hospitable tonight and allowing us to take a few minutes of your meeting. Well, first, before I get into bringing greetings from the Camden County Board of Commissioners, I just want to commend all the students here tonight. You are exceptional. You have just lifted me up at 7:20 tonight and let me know that our future is in good hands. If all our school districts operate in the way that what I've seen here tonight, I know that we will together fly really high as the eagles from the Ariel School District and also the Union Valley. So to the parents, thank you for your commitment to raise such fine young people, because in a few years, they're going to be taking my place. And I hope that we inspire you to continue to fly really high. So thank you for your time. So the reason I'm here tonight is, again, to acknowledge and thank the staff, and especially the board and the superintendent, for allowing the Camden County Department of Health and Human Services, under the leadership of John Pellicane, who is our Director of Mental Health and Addictions. We have lost too many people to the fentanyl crisis here in our country. And stepping up and training 50 professionals in your transportation system is admirable. So tonight, I would like to call John up and just read a little piece. What I have here tonight is a Camden County proclamation. Please excuse our backs. And I'll just read one little snippet so that you understand how important this is. So, whereas we acknowledge the Gloucester Township School District and their Transportation Department for their efforts in supporting this county initiative to education and equip school bus drivers with the tools and training to administer Narcan in the case of an overdose. The Gloucester Township School District has trained their bus drivers personnel to respond to an overdose and has provided each driver with naloxone overdose response kits. Naloxone is the first tool to administer during an opioid emergency, and it is critical to have accessible to the staff working closest with the children and in the community. So on behalf of the Camden County Board of Commissioners, we thank you for being here tonight, for supporting us, and making a difference in our communities.
Lynn, do you want to come up, please? Lynn Cayon's our transportation supervisor. And while Lynn's walking up, I do want to acknowledge the president of the Gloucester Township Support Professional Association. Gina Rodriguez is all the way in the back. Gina, I know I called you. I asked for your help and support. I thought it was worthwhile, as did you. So whatever you did to rally your staff and your colleagues and your association members, I do appreciate you. Thank you, Gina. Well, Mr. Marks, that's difficult, but yes, I will follow your instruction. I don't want anybody to think that we didn't offer or afford the opportunity for our professional drivers to come to this event and certainly get recognized. The drivers, if you don't know it, are very dedicated in many, many districts, certainly ours. They probably get up before 5 in the morning and report before 6 in the morning. So I know that Mr. Marks wants any driver to be stand and be recognized. So if there are drivers here with us, please stand. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you coming out. All right, that concludes the recognition. We will have a 10-minute break before we resume the regular session. I do have Mr. Umar is over here. So students from both Union Valley and Ariel Elementary School who were recognized tonight, if they could go back and have their pictures taken. And at the conclusion of that, we will resume our meeting. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight and supporting everything. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'd like to call this meeting back to order. May I have a motion approval of minutes for executive session December 18th, 2023 and January 8th, 2024?
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. May I have it all in favor, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. May I have a motion and a second for board regular meeting for December 18th, 2023 and recognition meeting January 8th, 2024?
Second.
Any questions? May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Fritz.
Yes.
Mrs. Galnick.
Abstain.
Mr. Gibbons.
Yes.
Mrs. Gilch.
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson. Yes. Ms. O'Donnell.
No on January 8th. Yes on December 18th.
Noted. Ms. Dentino.
Yes.
Mr. Marks.
Yes.
They both pass.
We're going to move on to public comments for agenda items only. Yes. Please state name and address, please.
No, name and just town.
Name and town.
You made me having stopped answering questions now. Dina Hendry, Summerdale. Looking over the bill list, can we have two lawyers or two counsels? Because there's Dan Long and also Parker and McKay for $35,000. Seems like a pretty big amount.
So, yes, we can. I think we have, I think they would just have the two, right? 3? So sometimes when I have a conflict and have to recuse myself, I'll give you a perfect example, union negotiations. It's not a secret that my wife's a teacher here, so they have to step in and do that because I can't do the negotiations for obvious reasons as a result of that. So they step in on cases or matters on which I have a conflict of interest.
Okay, the $35,000, was this just for one day?
I can't answer that one.
That seems like a pretty large amount. Anybody?
Yeah, I think it was a case.
A case, like, was it like a teacher case, a building case, a student case? Like, what kind of case? What kind of case?
It was
35,000.
Personnel matter.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other? Yes.
Patty McBride, President, Gloucester Township Education Association. On attachment 6.2A, it refers to the fire and security drills. I guess I'm asking for maybe clarification. On 12/22, there was a lockdown in the morning. And then there was another, some kind of shelter in place or lockdown at 10:30. Are all the Do they all have to be reported? Any shelter in place or lockdown, are they reported or recorded with the police, the local police officers? And if so, why wasn't that second shelter in place lockdown listed here? Or is there a report that can be seen why that shelter in place was done?
Are you talking about an actual one or a drill?
They don't tell me if it's a drill or
Gotcha.
not.
So the drills do, and I think the actual ones should be. So I'm maybe take a look into that one.
I was stated to me that the shelter in place does not need to be reported from an administrator. But I see some here, they say shelter in place here from Glendora on 12/1, from JW Lilly on 12/19. I have a concern because it was a shelter in place and there was a concern from a staff member, and I don't know if that has to be reported to the police. If it's not
Shelter in place would have to be reported.
Okay,
Yes.
so I can find that file at the local police department?
I think, Mr. Villadoki, you cut out the middle person and figure out kind of what happened there and report back.
Good evening, Ms. McBride.
Good evening.
I think most of everything stated here between you and Mr. Long is accurate. The scheduled drills have to be listed and approved by the Board of Education, but I'm under some impression that that second one on the same day wasn't a scheduled drill. I would have to look into it a little bit further and get you a precise answer.
Okay,
Okay?
I appreciate that.
All right, you're welcome.
I have another question. In regard to the listing of appointments coming up in the spring sports, I know the spring sports was posted and closed on January 17th. When does the board plan to approve those positions, since most of them start the first week in March, and the individual staff members that coach those sports would have to be notified because they pretty much prepare for the season in the month of February?
No, based upon the time frame that you just stated, if it's accurate, I assume it is, Patty, the board is going to have to approve all the spring coaches at the February meeting.
That meeting is awful late.
It is. We will have to be efficient with our communication to those people selected.
Thank you.
We'll try to post those in the future with a little bit more pace, so we don't have to be up against it. I think that may be a point hidden in your conversation here. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Sorry, one more comment or question. Looking at the resignations, I think I asked this question before. Are we doing exit interviews? And if we are doing exit interviews, how are they being conducted? And if we're not doing exit interviews, why not?
Good evening, Mrs. Hendry.
Hi.
I don't believe we're doing exit interviews. I believe they used to be, they're not a mandate of the district. I do believe that people have staff, even staff that are leaving us, have an opportunity to speak and let us know. Mr. Mercado is available for them to either come and visit and or send in written remarks, which we received before. But when we had it on that volunteer basis, it was tepid, the response.
Meaning some you would get it sometimes and sometimes you wouldn't?
Most people that are resigning don't have a lot of inertia to give us an exit interview. And a lot of people that are terminated don't want to give us the time of day.
Oh, absolutely. If somebody's getting terminated, I would, yeah. But I mean, just seeing the resignation, if somebody would, I know like on my team, if I got a resignation, you know, I wish them well, but I want to know why. Like, how can I be a better leader? What can I do better? What could the company do better? Because it helps the people that are there still to be better. And also helps us, the leaders, to be better. So, I mean, seeing the amount of resignations each month after month, it's concerning because you want to know why people are wishing to leave your team. And if you're not doing exit interviews, then are you doing stay interviews? You know, taking the temperature of the team to see what makes them stay, what makes them tick. Why do they want to keep calling Gloucester Township the place where they're earning their hard-earned dollars? That's just my 2 cents.
Thank you. We'll take it in consideration. Any other comments? I see none. The public comments is closed. We're going to go on to the report of the solicitor. Mr. Long?
Thank you, Mr. Marks. My items were discussed in the closed session.
Report of the superintendent. Mr. Bilodeau.
Thank you, Mr. Marks, members of the Board of Education, members of the public. My microphone is now on, Mr. Marks. And I think the owner of the phone that I have up here.
Answer it, the green button. Hello? Hello?
She actually, can you put that in the minutes that Mrs. Gill answered?
We found a phone on the floor out in the public area. We're trying to get it back to the rightful owner, so it may be somewhat entertaining tonight. More entertaining than most of our board meetings. Mr. Marks, if I could ask the board to consider 3 changes to the agenda this evening. They are minor.
Proceed.
Under 6.4A, field trips, I'd like to ask the board to consider walking on a trip that had to be canceled due to the inclement weather last week. So the rescheduled trip to the Franklin Institute will be now February 12th for the Loring Fleming 4th grade. I don't want the students to miss out on that opportunity to Franklin Institute. Anytime the district travels to another state for insurance reasons, we have to have it approved. So that's an add to 6.4A. Under 6.6B, under non-instructional appointments, I would like to add one name. I'm sorry. 6.4B. Yeah, I'm getting there. 6.6. 6.6B. 6.6B, non-instructional appointments. Yes. Easy for me to say.
Mm. 6.6B.
6.6. Hold on. That's why I don't like walk-ons. Here we are.
Still is.
6.6B, which is non-instructional appointments. If we could add Ariana Shaw. Ariana Shaw is replacing employee number 6467. The position is A&P and latchkey aide at Union Valley. The salary would be $15,266.17, prorated. The effective date is 1/23/24. And on 6.6I, under a transfer, we wanted to just amend the start date for the final row on that attachment, employee ID number 5957, to change the effective date from February 1st, 2024 to January 23rd, 2024, which is tomorrow. And they are the only changes. Thank you for allowing them. And any questions with them?
May I have a motion and a second, please?
Second.
Any questions?
I do. On 6.6C, on some of these resignations, do we know if we've gotten any responses whatsoever? I mean, there's a French teacher, a preschool teacher, a special ed teacher, a math teacher. Do we know if we've gotten any responses on any of these? It seems
Responses, or
like
have we
as far as,
posted?
well, they're posted, I know they're posted. Do we know, has anyone sent in resumes for them? When do we know if they're closed?
I would have to honestly check
All right.
and get back to you, Mrs. Gilch.
Thanks.
Do I have any other questions? May I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Fritz?
Here. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Mrs. Galnick?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilch?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mrs. Dentino?
Yes.
Mr. Marks?
Yes. May I have a report of the business administrator?
Yeah, Mr. Marks, I'm asking for the table 7.1, which is the Board Secretary's cash summary report, and also 7.2 line item transfers for the month of December. I will present both December and January at the February meeting.
May I have a motion and a second to table the 7.1, please?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Any nays?
And asking for the board's approval of payment of bills 7.3 all the way through 7.7B on their finance, business, and budget.
May I have a motion, please?
Second.
Any questions?
On check number 131910, under Brett Denovi and Associates, it says anticipated services. Can someone please tell me what that means?
That's the way the PO is written. The PO is written for a lump sum, and as they bill, we knock down the PO. Just say if the PO was $1 million and he bills 100,000, it's anticipated services because that's what the PO says. Just like we do for electric and all.
I've never seen that before. I had the same question. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's a gross PO that is reduced as the bills come in. And then in June, we cancel the PO for what's left.
How do we know that the money that we had put out for that was fulfilled?
Oh, no.
The services were fulfilled?
They invoice us on a monthly basis.
So we're invoices on services rendered.
Correct. So
Okay, not anticipated.
No,
So
that's,
maybe we should just change the words to rendered.
we could do that.
Okay, thank you.
Just so everyone's clear, the $100,000 you're referencing the check, okay, we did receive a detailed invoice for services rendered, correct? Of course. But in the system, the nomenclature used for the original PO was anticipated services?
Correct.
All right, thank you, Mr. McCauley.
I also have a question regarding that check, and I sent it to you via email. You said you'd get back to me. Did you get a response on that?
Yeah, I got a response. It's 10.
So we have 10 employees doing the service that they're doing. Got it, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, I do, and I've asked this, I know Dr. Martin isn't here, but I want to know what is being done to bring people into the district, so we're not having Brett Denovi or any other company come in and service our children. I don't know what we're doing, and I'd like to have an idea of what we're doing, if we can get a report of what we're doing. Somehow, it's just a lot of money, and I think they'd be better served by our own employees.
I bet Mrs. Gilch, I will ask both Dr. Martin and Mr. Mercado and get an assessment and let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? May I have a roll call,
Oh,
please?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 7.7B, for the construction management firm, do you know, like, around about what the going rate is for that?
I would say the roundabout is 2 to 4% of whatever the project is what it is.
Okay,
What was the answer?
2 to 4%. Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Fritz,
Yes.
Mrs. Galnick,
Yes.
Mr. Gibbons,
Going to be no on check 131910, and yes on the balance.
noted. That's 131910?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Gilch,
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson,
Abstain on check number 131918 and 132018, and no on 131910. Yes on the balance.
noted. Mrs. O'Donnell,
I am abstaining on check number 131936. Yes on the balance.
Ms. Dentino,
Yes.
Mr. Marks.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Any old business, Mr. Bilodeau?
Not at this time, Mr. Marks.
New business?
Actually, I have 2 items of new. No, I have no old business, Mr. Marks. I'm repeating myself with this microphone. Thank you, Mr. Wells, for your system. The first new business item, I would like to recognize all the board members here because January is School Board Recognition Month. Everyone here plays an essential role, and there's no compensation for the oversight and advancement for our children's future. And I don't often thank everyone seated here, but you do a lot of work and you make a lot of inroads in letting communication get to me to improve our district. I do appreciate all of you for endeavoring that. So for January, I want to just have everybody acknowledge the Board of Education for their efforts that we have a good 2024 year. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Bilodeau.
Second item I'd like to announce is this is, would have been a little bit quicker in the communication, but I only got confirmation today. But next week in this room, the Gloucester Township Police, I believe it will be 6:30 p.m., will again present to parents and guardians their sexting and vaping presentation. They have in the past done this at Charles Lewis School. I thought a change of venue would be in order. There have been reports given to me by administrators about coming off of the break, how the use of cell phones and the inappropriate use of cell phones with our students. And so this has really been a plea from our middle school principals. Let's get back on track with this. I'm hopeful that we can go from here and springboard into assemblies for our students because they do need to see it. And I would, unfortunately, the things that are happening on these phones, females are really, truly the victims. And that is sad. And so to prevent that, I think we can start being here next Tuesday evening. We will start that again. And we're trying to push through and get the police to come out. And this awareness, I think, is important. It's just as important as some of the recognition we had earlier tonight. So I'm really thankful that the police department partners with us and does that. So if you haven't seen that presentation, I know some of the board members here have gone before. It's disturbing, but it's informative, and it's something I think is necessary to get into into the light of some of the ills out there with these phones. So thank you for that.
Very nice. We'll move on to the second portion of public comments. Mr. Pildes? Breaking news.
We're giving Mr. Pildes a microphone. We're giving Mr.
Okay. All right. First of all, when I was a student at Gloucester Township, I thought the role of the superintendent was to call a snow day. That's all I thought you did. So I commend you on the 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. They were excellent calls, timely manner, greatly appreciated. Our safety comes first. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yes, they were all well, good days. I am under, my principal just texted me at 6:30 tonight. For second market period, now gets 1 day at it, correct? It was just adjusted in real time?
Are you talking about the market
Make
period?
Marking period dates, because now we do science and social studies by marking period. So if
Okay.
we made up the day in June, the second and fourth would still get the same amount of time in social. But she just informed me that we're adding 1 more day to the second market period. Am I not right?
I am not aware of that answer, Mr. Pildes.
I just got a
I
text
thought you
myself.
were-
I just
I
got
thought
the
you were
text.
going to ask what impact it has to the calendar.
It is a calendar question. It
Preliminarily,
is a calendar
It's
question.
going to be, we had prior to the snow day finished on a Thursday, I think the 13th of June, I'm off a little bit.
Right.
We will finish on a Friday, so if
We'll
that
finish,
impacts
but the
marking
marking
periods,
period, because science and social
date-wise,
studies
yes.
is market period by market period, we have to know when the kids switch.
Yes.
So I just wanted to be clear. So Tuesday will still be second market period.
Yes.
We'll switch on Wednesday. All right. Under old business, I was expecting a response on the report cards getting printed. Did we make a decision and I missed it?
I'll answer that. There has been no more discussion, but that discussion will be taking place very soon.
Okay, so you're saying there's a chance.
Everything has a chance.
We're not setting expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Now, on Mrs. Gilch's vein here, we see as teachers all the posting of jobs, special ed, French, Spanish, music, whatever. Where else does the district publish these vacancies? I don't know. I mean, I don't teach Spanish or music, so I get the emails all the time. I get the postings. But outside of our in-house, where else are we posting?
I am of the opinion.
Oh, they got me.
I'm of the opinion that they also go to a service and they are put out online.
Like Monster or Indeed or something like that?
I'm not certain of it, but I can follow up with you.
So the outside world knows we need these people?
They go to NJ School Jobs.
NJ Schools? Is that
Yeah,
what it
we have an account with NJ School Jobs, that's where they're posted.
Oh, NJ School Job. Okay. So at least it's not just us getting the information. It is out there. All right. Am I zapped? I had to come back. You're gonna circle back
You're
because I got.
Always circle back.
You're zapped unless anybody else wants to speak.
Who am I passing this to? Oh, all right. You can.
First, I'd like to thank every board member for their time. I know it is a lot. So moving forward, have the new committees been set for the
Yes.
board?
Yes.
Or will they be posted along with in the minutes?
The whole board received them tonight. Mr. Bill, you put that on the website sooner or later for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Or you can just email me
I
a
could
list.
probably send Mr. Bride. I don't know if we have a
I'd like to know
practice of
the
putting it up, but
committees.
if you want it up. Whatever our past practice is, we're going to do it
Let's
again.
follow
But I
past practice.
certainly can give a copy to Ms. McBride.
Thank you.
She's asking for one.
Give it mine on the way. We got to go everybody once, and then we come back around.
Good evening, Dina Hendry again, Summerdale. As an engaged and involved parent of this district and community, I've been closely following the discussions of the school board meetings and regarding team retention and related concerns within our district. Given Gloucester Township's vision as a place where one lives, works, and plays, I'm keenly interested in the steps being taken to support team members during contract negotiations. Over the past 2 years, numerous resignations and pleas for fair and livable wages have been shared during BOE meetings. There's also been mention of team members leaving for opportunities with higher wages, less responsibilities, and more supportive conditions elsewhere. Understanding that the cost of living in Gloucester Township, particularly in terms of housing, is pretty crucial. With the lowest one-bedroom apartment priced at $13.11 a month as of today, where the average is $14.22 a month. Team members aiming to achieve the GT dream of living, working, and playing a GT would need to earn 3 times the rent. For example, Millbridge Gardens, that would equate to $3,933 a month, or $47,196 a year. Based on the recent new hires, it appears the only people today that could qualify would be the Spanish teacher and our HVAC technician, would currently meet those income qualifications. Unfortunately, it seems that our 10-month secretaries, paraprofessionals, and other countless support professionals that fuel this school would not qualify. As we enter a new year and welcome a new board, I'm eager to understand what measures are in place to address these pressing concerns and ensure that the support and well-being of our dedicated team members are going to be had. I also would like to know if that this board would ensure that our support staff receive a fair and livable wage. Thank you for your consideration. I look forward to hearing about it.
Hi, Kelly Rutter, Blackwood, and I also teach at Lilly. I'm not asking about report cards today. I do have a quick question, though, about the job postings, following Ms. Gilch and Mr. Pillis. You had mentioned that they're on the NJ schools. I had a teacher who wanted to work in Gloucester Township, but when she went on NJ schools, it was not there. And now, just looking myself, there's not any Gloucester Township positions posted. So it would be nice if we get those jobs out there so we can get some real quality people to come work with us, because
Totally
we
agree.
need them.
Ms. Bildo, can you address that in the morning, please? Thank you. Any other comments?
Back there, and then we're back to Mr. Pildes.
Teresa Osorto, Damon Drive, Sicklerville. I was just concerned because I see that one of our preschool teachers is leaving here at Mullen this next month. The next board meeting to vote somebody into that position to fill it is not until the end of February. So what's going to happen to that preschool class for a couple of weeks where there's, a lull? And it seems to happen a lot around the district. Somebody leaves a position, and then it takes a month or so to find somebody to fill that spot, and it's not consistency for those kids. So just a concern out there that maybe some meetings have to be held quicker or something has to be done so we can get these people hired and in those positions before the next board meeting.
Back to Mr. Pildes.
Mr. Pills, you will be our final comment tonight.
So I noticed walking in tonight that the playgrounds have expanded exponentially in Glen Landing and at Mullen. Was this ever approved? Because I was checking out the playgrounds. Did we just double the playground sizes in both schools? And we could just do that?
I believe that they have increased the hardscaping at both those locations, yes, this year.
But it's not
I believe it's part of the state of New Jersey's like preschool planogram on what the ideal play yard should resemble.
Is that something we can look into?
So is it a CUSAC request? Would that fall under a CUSAC?
I don't know if that would be CUSAC oriented, but certainly preschool.
Well, if we're out of compliance, it would be a CUSAC. Wouldn't they say they would recommend we expand our playground?
No, I think that there's enough of the early educators in the preschool program for the state that do oversight here. I don't know if the CUSAC would look into that, to be honest with you, but I don't remember having any preschool programs for compliance. But I do know that they have a certain amount of hardscape, soft areas, has to be fenced in, so.
It's like mud at Glen Landing. There's no more grass. Those little guys tore it up.
There'll be grass in the spring.
Yeah, now's a bad time of year.
I know, it's a dust bowl in the summer. Like, when the wind blows, it's bad. So, but now they expand it, so now it's like moving the chickens, they just move over here, right?
I'd have to go see it for myself.
You won't believe it. All right, first of all, Mr. Mason thought we were selling Christmas trees. So, because it was those orange nets until they made it.
What else we got, Ms. Pildes?
Well, my dear friend Nancy Falvey, she's going to listen to this because she couldn't make it tonight, is retiring in April. You just approved her retirement. So she said put in a couple good words. I got hired with her. She's retiring, making me think it. Don't have a science lab. You told me I'd have a science lab before I retired. So 37 years, I'm still waiting for that science lab. So, but Nancy is an awesome teacher, special ed, hard to find her replacement. She leaves March 31st, just like the young lady back there said. How are we going to replace them in time to fulfill the special ed requirements with the IEPs? Okay. You're going to miss Nancy. She's awesome. Thank you for your time. And congratulations on board member of the, for Jack. If they had a Hallmark card, I would have got you one. But I wasn't sure.
Thank you, Ms. Pildes.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to board member comments. Do I have any?
I'd like to say congratulations to the 41 new Junior National Honor Society students from Glen Landing that were inducted last Thursday night. Inducted. Also, on December 19th, I came here to the Mullen School to see their winter wonderland. I want to say congratulations to Mrs. Rose Bounds and her whole staff. The students earned points in their positive behavior program by using CARE, C-A-R-E. CARE for corroboration, A for accountability, R for respect, and E for empathy. The students then used their points and they played video games, board games, played bingo, painted ornaments, made bead bracelets, Lego buildings, and I even got to watch a chess match. Looked to me that both students and staff had a great time, so hooray for that.
Very nice. Any other comments?
Oh, go ahead.
I want to congratulate all of the student council kids from UV and Ariel and thank them for representing Gloucester Township Public Schools out in the community in such a positive way. I also wanted to thank the transportation staff for getting their training, and while they're getting it, they are hoping that they will never use it. Mr. Pildes, I'm so glad that you appreciate the snow days, but until Mr. Bilodeau sends the school closing rapping the song, I will not be impressed. I've been asking for years, and he won't do that yet. And Mrs. Hendry, I am thankfully and gladly on the negotiations committee. Yay, thank you. To Mr. Marks, I did request that. I have been for 8 years being just a nudge to Mr. Bilodeau. I have said lowest wage earners in this room countless times since I started here. So I'm excited to get that started. I'm excited to work with everybody, and hopefully it'll be quick and easy and painless. Thank you.
Mrs. Gilch?
Yes, I'd just like to say that I attended the Martin Luther King Day of Service at Lewis. I just want to say kudos to all the parents and the children that came out that morning and did service projects. I commend the parents for having their children come out, and to see the kids excited to be out there was amazing. We had a parent, Marianne and I were doing cards for soldiers. We had a parent bring 4 young teenage boys. She went on the global thing that was on Gloucester Township. She was from Doylestown. She traveled an hour and a half to bring these boys down here so that they could do a service project, which I found very commendable. So I was really impressed with that. I want to say congratulations to the Schools for the Student Council. It's an awesome program. Keep it up. Transportation, thank you for your concerns with the drug issues we're having, and thank you for stepping up with that. And also, Mr. Bilodeau, are we going to be doing a global connect on that sexting and vaping? If we could please send that out globally. I did go to the one at Lewis. I just wish more parents would come out to that because it was very, very interesting. And you don't understand until you see what really goes on, what they show you. So if we could please do a global connect on that to everyone, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I'd like to congratulate the STAR students, thank the bus drivers for taking the Narcan training, and also to reiterate what Ms. O'Donnell had said for Ms. Hendry. We've been working on salaries for low-wage earners for quite some time through special services, secretaries, non-union, and I'm happy to be on negotiations again, and I can't wait to get started because there are a lot of areas in that section that do need to be addressed as well.
Thank you. Any other? I'm going to piggyback and kind of reiterate what the other board members said. I would like to congratulate all our STAR students. That is a wonderful program. I am so thrilled that we brought that back almost 2 years ago now, Ms. Bilodeau. Yes, sir. What wonderful program. To our bus drivers, phenomenal. It's a necessary evil, but thank you for taking the time out to do that and learn that. It's been a good, proud moment for our Gloucester Township family. January's been a good month for us. All the different programs, you know, with the MLK and the National Honor Society, that's really nice. We should all be proud as a family for Gloucester Township for the way our district's moving. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Good night, and may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.